Hey there, how's it going? This is Cross the Rubicon channel. I'm still in Nelson, and well, this video is being made in Ruby Bay, which is just north of Nelson. And Ruby Bay, Hepuapua, more or less the same place. But look at this, it's pretty remote here. But look at the cliff face and the houses on the hill. See that house up there in the distance? That's the one I actually stayed in, would you believe, last night. Look at the views it's got, absolutely beautiful. So yeah, the beach is a bit stony, as you can see, but it is lovely. I stayed with a good mate of mine last night who's a very activist, if you like, and a few drinks, great conversation, a great meal, best steak I've had for years. Very expensive apparently, but anyway. And yeah, there's about 5 or 6 of us, and we had a great night. Now my mate gave me a book to read, and I read it. Well, I read the first chapter, and this is the book right here. Hepuapua, Blueprint for Breaking Up New Zealand by John Robinson. Now, for anyone who really wants to know what's happening in New Zealand, should get this book, and it will outline what's happening right now and what's been building up for years under successive governments, Labour and National, especially John Key, or Don Key if you like, when he was Prime Minister of the National Party. He sold out New Zealand, and would you believe Helen Clark before him refused to do what he did via the separatist Maori movement in New Zealand. And now here we are with Hepuapua, Three Waters, where these super Maori elites have been given such power. They're in such powerful positions, all because of the colour of their skin and the extra tattoos they put on their faces. And now they run the show, they run this country. And when they say jump, nearly every politician, journalist, all the media, everybody says how high. It really is quite pathetic. Now, Maori, like I've said many times before, make up 16% of the New Zealand population. And this small, tiny minority within Maoridom of super elites are a very small minority within that 16%. And it's these people that are running the show. And they've been afforded great power by corrupt politicians. And yeah, probably one of the most corrupt was John Key himself, of the National Party. Now, the only alternative we've got to this horrendous human being we've got leading this country at this time, Jacinda Ardern, is the National Party. The leader of the National Party is Christopher Luxon. Now, Christopher Luxon has said a few choice things that upset a lot of people, and I personally think he would be as bad as, or even worse than, Jacinda Ardern. And then we've got ACT Party's David Seymour, who, well, chops and changes what he thinks. Another one who panders to these elitists. We haven't got much choice, people, in New Zealand. Not much choice at all. David Seymour says something strong one day, and then he'll apologise for it the next. We can't have people that are not going to be conviction politicians in power. I'm not even sure now New Zealand can be fixed via politics. I'm not even sure about that anymore. But this country's been ripped apart. It's been ripped apart via this here. Hepuapua, 3 waters, and the power that has been afforded to a very small minority of a small minority. And to question these people always brings claims of racism, every single time. Now, over a year ago, would have been probably about a year and a half ago, I made a video, and it was about hepuapua, and I had the document, the unredacted document, and I highlighted a lot of things. I studied it as quickly as possible, and I made a video about it, and I told New Zealand about this before anyone, well, before the vast majority anyway, knew about it. And well, that video went a little bit viral, and then people, many people who didn't know, became aware because of my video. And that is what brought me into the sights of the Maori Party and these extremists who wanted to get me for anything, and the government of Jacinda Ardern. And when I gave them that gift, and it was a gift, call it stupid, call it what you will, when I made the satire video of Rawiri Waititi, or should I say Rawiri half-witty Waititi, I made a spoof video of him, a satire video that would be acceptable in any other country, but in New Zealand you can't insult Maori. And that was it then. They came after my job, they lost me my job, I got debanked, my face was all over the media via the government and the Maori, that's how strong they are, as a dangerous far-right white supremacist. That's what they did to me, because I made the video about hepuapua, which they couldn't really do nothing about, but then I made the video about the satire video of Rawiri Waititi, and that was a gift to them. Hey, we all make mistakes. But would I do it again? Well, yes I would. I would do it again. Not because I'm a sadomasochist or anything, but nobody should be above satire or criticism. Nobody. Not even Maori. Especially these Maori extremists. Now, Rawiri Waititi specialises, like I did say in that video, specialises on just calling anybody and everybody far right and racist, whoever criticises him. Same with Debbie Packer, same with Matthew Tukaki, Joe Trinder, Willie Jackson, JT, all of them. That's all they ever do, is call everyone racist, to shut them down. And most people don't want to be called racist. And, well, they shut themselves down, don't they? I don't. I carry on. See, I'm out of control. I'm not out of control, but they can't control me. And neither can these smaller parties or smaller leaders of these parties of freedom, so-called parties of freedom. Their leaders, they know they can't control me either, and that's why they'll have nothing to do with me. Because I know if I've got something to say, I'll say it regardless of what they think. I'm surmising that that's the reason they have nothing to do with me. I don't know. Same with Carl Bromley. He says much the same as me, but I would say I go quite a few steps further than Carl. Terry O'Pines does a lot. Kawasaki does a lot as well. Damien Dement. Great YouTubers. You should look at them. But this is where we are in New Zealand. This country is being ripped apart, just like it is on that picture there. Ripped apart. Basically a very, very small minority of 16% of the population are going to get co-governance in this country. Co-governance, 50% of everything. Would you believe that? 50%. Just because they've got a little bit of Maori blood in them. That is pure racism. And like I've said before, the New Zealand paradox is calling people racist who accuse real racists of being racist, basically. That's where we are. I think I've said enough in this video, but check out this book here if you can find it. I don't think you'll find it in Wickles or Paper Plus because, well, the Maori Party probably take them, and the government take them. Tell them companies take them off the shelves. They won't let them people read it. They won't let you read the truth in New Zealand. We are actually in tyranny. Okay, this is Cross the Rubicon. Please like, leave a comment, subscribe, and share this video everywhere. See you later.